Hey guys, jumping on here with another video. Let me take my earbud out, that way I can hear myself better. The reason I'm jumping on here because I was doing some stuff around the house and then had to go to the bathroom, and I was reading my news, and you will not believe this, because it's just incredulous. So let me bring this up real quick and I'll come back to my screen. This is a CNN reporting about Alligator Alcatraz, what to know about Florida's new controversial migrant detention facility. And so, if you remember, Donald Trump has always wanted to, for whatever reason, reopen the island prison of Alcatraz, which has been closed for decades. And it was touted as one of the worst prisons in the country at that time. And so he was touring the Alligator Alcatraz down in Florida. And the reason this matters is because not so much about the prison itself, but he was touring it today because starting tomorrow, some people will be sent to that prison in Florida. And so it's right around the Florida Everglades, about 50 miles west of Miami. And they're saying 50 miles west of Miami for where Donald Trump's resort is. Sits the latest battleground about his administration's immigration enforcement errors, yada, yada, yada. So the reason is about this because when he was taking questions and everything, they were talking about this, and guess what he's wanting to do? He is going to approve the National Guard to be immigration judges. Again, approving the National Guard to be immigration judges. Now, I was like, really? Can that happen? So I just pulled up my phone and looked at Google. I looked at Google and I asked Google the question, are National Guardsmen qualified to be immigration judges? And I will bring this up and show you what the answer was. So while National Guard members are not automatically qualified to be immigration judges, Florida's proposed immigration plan suggests that certain National Guard legal officers could be trained to serve as immigration judges after a 6-week training program. These officers would need to meet specific qualifications and be trained by the Department of Justice. Now, the problem is, these are National Guard members. National Guard members are under the state's government. So, like, these people are part of the Florida National Guard. Now, I looked at to see where immigration judges are connected to. Immigration judges are connected to the Department of Justice, not the National Guard. You may think about Tom Cruise's old movie where he was a JAG officer, meaning he was a judicial, he was a lawyer for the military, JAG. But again, JAG is not immigration judges. These judges are actually under the Department of Justice. not the National Guard. But we were looking at this and saying, what are the qualifications to be an immigration judge? The qualifications for a career as an immigration judge includes a law degree, active membership in the bar, a license to practice as a lawyer, and at least 7 years of experience as a practicing attorney. Again, these are the qualifications for a career as an immigration judge. National Guard members, some of them may have gone through law school, some of them may be on the bar, some of them may be attorneys. But going back up here about the National Guard's role, the plan involves using National Guard Judge Advocate Generals, that's what I was trying to think of, Judge Advocate General, JAG officers, to handle immigration cases. Training, these officers would undergo a 6-week training program to become qualified immigration judges. That doesn't pass the smell test. Not my smell test. Department of Justice oversight. The training and qualification process would be overseen by the Department of Justice, which is responsible for the Executive Office for Immigration Review, the EOIR, according to the ICE portal. It's not a standard path. It's important to note that serving in the National Guard is not a typical qualification for immigration judges who are typically Department of Justice employees, just like I just said. Immigration judges are employees of the Department of Justice, not the National Guard. And again, we talked about the qualifications for immigration judges, and a 6-week training is not that thing. Again, does not pass the smell test. And I believe that Governor DeSantis and President Trump are overreaching their power. So there are more people out there who are more scholarly than I am. I mean, so if you can find some more information, please put it in the comments or create your own video about this, because this is ridiculous. And the reason they're doing this is to fast track deportation. And not just, and I'll remind you, not just illegal immigrants. U.S. citizens can be deported. In fact, Donald Trump said today, because I guess he and Elon have broken up, that he might deport Elon Musk, because Elon Musk is saying every Republican who voted yes for the big beautiful bill will be primaried and will lose their seats if it's the, quote, last thing that I do on earth. That's what Elon Musk said. Google it. You'll see that. Again, elections have consequences. They do. Elections have consequences. And all of us, including myself, who did not vote for Donald Trump, are still in the finding out phase of hashtag FAFO. These are the consequences of the 2024 presidential election. And he's laughing about this. Laughing about this. But even my video, I will say, this might be a distraction because of the beautiful big bill, or whatever you want to call it, that if the House now agrees with this Senate version, but at least 8 Republicans in the House said no, are saying right now no. If it passes, almost 12 million people, including myself, may be kicked off the insurance rolls. Not just Medicaid, but the Affordable Care Act as well. To the tune of almost $1 trillion in cuts. And don't believe they are not going after Medicare either. They're not. They are. They are. Which means that more than $1 trillion of cuts are coming out of healthcare. Now these 2017 tax cuts, those will be permanent if it passes. But that's for corporate people. Those are corporate taxes. You say, well, what about no taxes on tips and no taxes on Social Security? That's part of the bill, but those are not permanent. At the end of 3 years, the taxes will start again. Yes, meaning at the end of this presidency, taxes on tips and taxes on Social Security will start up again. Yes. Funding for student loans, gone. But Homeland Security, the border, all of that, their budgets have been doubled. The Pentagon budgets have been doubled. And you know that DOGE was created to find fraud and mismanagement and all of that. I'll remind you that the Pentagon gets audited every single year. They have never passed, in the last 10 years, Google it, you can find it. They have never passed an audit. Yet you're going to double their budget. Just saying. But again, I am saying that President Trump and Governor DeSantis are overreaching their power about making National Guardsmen, whether they are JAG or not, National Guardmen can become immigration judges. What do y'all think about this? Again, elections have consequences. #2026 midterms. See you on the next video.